Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4 Golden. In the last part we had a bit of a... Well, we had plot happen and Nanako got kidnapped by the serial killer and Dojima's now ran off to try and find them. And yeah, I don't think this would actually happen in a police station. I don't think, you know, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think 7 kids would be able to barge in and just say, just be able to barge through into a room where their mate's being held. I don't think that would work.
But if you don't tell me what's going on, there's really nothing I can
So yeah, we now have to tell Dachi what's going on.
Once we explain the situation.
I love Naoto here because she just outsmarts the Dachi pretty much perfectly there, saying, so if we tell you what's going on, you'll let him go. Great, I'll tell you. Let's get on with this.
Perhaps this will help Adachi-san understand as well.
So yeah, we're now going to be chatting to... We're now going to be doing the thing which we normally do at this point. Talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to... what the next course of action is going to be. So yeah, this is pretty much saying that the door wasn't opened by force, so therefore Nanako must have known who it was, who was at the doorbell, which narrows it down a little bit.
For all of us?
Yeah, we all got kidnapped, you stupid bastard.
As compared to us. Remember what Nanako-chan said when we were at the hot springs?
What did she say? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember.
Dad tells me, like not opening the door.
Yes, so that pretty much means that Nanako knew who it was. That the killer is known to Nanako, even if she doesn't necessarily know that whoever it is the killer. Friend of Dojima's?
No, I doubt she'd let her guard down for anyone who rarely came to their house.
That's a very good point.
This is beyond the
Plus, I don't think classmates. Yeah, I don't think 9-year-olds are going to go out and commit murder. I don't think so.
I agree. Then let us.
I will say that when this was finally kind of pointed out as to who the killer is, not necessarily the person in question, but just the what they are. I won't spoil it. I'm trying not to. But yeah, that when that was finally kind of revealed, I was like, oh shit, that's you know, I felt so dumb after it was revealed what he actually did.
I would assume a vehicle larger than a sedan.
So yeah, it's pretty much Naoto's saying here is pretty much that
I'd expect someone to notice, since most of the victims vanished during
the reason why the guy hasn't been noticed is because he's he's
it's a car that can't be seen.
He can park up somewhere and he's not really noticed, like he's not really out of the ordinary. That's the first thing. The second thing is that he has a big vehicle, and the third thing is that because there's been no suspicious activity with the vehicles, you've got to say that it was probably basically he had the a TV in the actual vehicle itself, and here's pretty much the revelation that it was a that it's a delivery guy, which makes sense because he has the big vehicle. He'd have a truck to be able to carry the TV around. He wouldn't look out of the ordinary, and people just wouldn't flat out wouldn't notice him. So, plus it gives him license to be able to go around and go to any home and keep tabs on people he might want to kidnap. So yeah.
Dojima-san put this stuff together to reinvestigate the first case.
So yeah, sorry. So yes, now there's a delivery man mentioned right here on Dojima's list of suspects.
After resigning from his last job, he took up the family delivery business.
Yes.
Before that,
And we
he
found
was
out that it was
council secretary.
Old Man
Toro
Jenkins.
Namatame.
No, it was Namatame, who was the
All we know about him is his
the
occupation. I'd say that's enough of a lead to
Jesus
tell
Christ,
us where to
the
go
Enka
next.
singer's husband,
The address is
and was
not
actually
far from
the was having an affair with the
Give him a
first
clue and he
victim.
still finds an excuse to
So
cheat me
that
out.
connects him to at least the first crime.
okay?
So yeah, that's kind of an interesting way to go about it, I guess.
Adachi-san.
So yeah, this is just one of the reasons why I love this game so much, is that it pretty much does the
Just have to hope nothing happens here while I'm
job
I didn't see
perfectly. As in,
Adachi-san.
Let's go to
like with
Namatame's
most
place.
like
Dojima-san's
crime
probably on his way
thrillers and dramas, it kind of connects, everything connects really well, and they do a really good job with kind of explaining how everything's done. And there he is. We're back to our anime cutscene. Yay!
Nanako. Daddy's coming for you.
I do like this animation actually, it does look really good. Surprisingly. But I don't know whether... I'll be honest, I don't know if they use like... if it's HD, I would guess that it would be. Because I think the Vita is pretty much close to... If it's not HD, it's very fucking close. Oh shit! And, yeah, Dojima's had a bit of a crash. That's not nice. By the way, that is like a big explosion. That is a load of smoke. I don't know how realistic that is otherwise, but I guess it's a good way of signifying where they are. Also gives them a reason to
Are
find
you alright?
Dojima fairly quickly, which is useful.
Where's Nanako?
Don't know, mate.
We need an ambulance, quickly.
So now they're looking for,
One adult male is injured.
so now we've got to call an
That's right, I
ambulance
should fall
for
back up too.
Dojima.
We gotta find Namatame.
Yes.
Nanako. Where's Nanako?
Probably in the TV by now, man. I'm gonna be honest.
What happened?
Car crash. What's he look like?
I was on my way to Namatame's house when I saw him.
So yeah, he pretty much...
Past me.
That was pretty,
Chase.
because I don't think,
And where's Nanako?
at least I don't think Adachi got to tell Dojima who it was. So I guess it's just,
Please.
I don't know. It's probably just showing off his detective skills a bit here by
You
pretty
can't.
much
We need to preserve the
him,
Then allow me. If it rains again while we wait, the information
him working
lost
out
regardless.
who exactly the murderer was, like who the most likely culprit was, basically. So yeah, I guess it's just a way.
Large enough for
It's one of those
persons
things
any
where if
size to
you
fit through.
think about it
I
too
also
hard, I
recovered
think
a
you
diary from the
could
driver's seat.
see that as a
Most
bit of a
likely
plot
kept
hole.
by
Like,
Namatame himself.
how did he know it was Namatame so quickly?
I learned the existence
But
of a new world,
I
thus
guess
I must save people.
you can, I guess you can, you know,
hell's he mean by that?
toss that away by saying that Namatame is
Victims' home addresses.
that you know,
Are you
Dojima has
Nano,
the
Saki
requisite
Konishi,
skills as a detective to be able to work
Kiko
this shit
Amagi,
out.
Kanji Tatsumi, Rise
But anyway, we
Kochiko.
in the this is very incriminating. He's a bit of a dumbass.
Are written here.
So yeah, they pretty much
I know
worked
that
out
Mr.
that
Waraoka's address is
that has all the
absolutely
names in here.
Wow. And that settles it.
Pay attention to that
The
line
last
there.
days today's.
Pay very close
Can't
attention
believe
to
such
that
a small
line.
child
Now
could
that
die.
now that
I
makes
must save this
sense
child no matter what.
from Adachi.
Is that about Nanako-chan?
That line is going to come
I
into
managed to
play
take
a
her
little
to
bit later
safety.
on. I will say
The
that.
police have been acting lately.
But yeah,
This will
he's
probably be the last
pretty
time I
much.
write in this diary.
This is a
I've done
diary, I
everything
guess.
I can.
It's clear.
And what's kind of odd about this little
Same trick on all
section
the victims.
about what he says in his
Ring the bell
book
like
is that
he was
he's
making a
trying to
normal
save
delivery.
people.
And throw the victim into the TV in his truck.
Which I guess you could look at in multiple ways at the
We
start.
need to go save Nanako-chan.
I think
Here,
initially you're supposed
let's use
to
this TV and-
identify as
We don't know where we'll enter through
he
this
considers
one.
killing
What if we end
people,
up somewhere
saving
dangerous?
them.
It doesn't
That
seem
is
like
the
it's gonna
initial
be
kind
foggy
of
tomorrow,
response that I
so
had
we
anyway,
should go
when
in
I first
tomorrow,
played the
the
game,
same
was,
way as
you know,
usual.
he's a bit insane, and
If
that
we
he
fail,
identifies
who's going to save Nanako-chan?
murder with saving, I guess, which is a bit of
Saving her
a
will be our top priority from tomorrow
bit of an
forward.
odd
We'll leave
thing,
Namatome's
I
whereabouts
guess.
to the police.
But it's just one of those things that I think has to be kind of. It's just one of those things that has to be done, I guess. That it's just, it's hard to work out, I think. We're back in a hotel room now. And there's Dojima. He's awake. Thank God.
Are you alright?
I must look like hell right now.
Ah, looking pretty handsome.
Nanako,
Like Naruto's like,
my reason for living.
don't want to be rude, but you do look like shit.
I might as well be dead.
My God.
She
Don't
must
kill
be
yourself,
so
dude.
scared right now. Waiting for someone to save her.
Yeah. We've got that in hand,
Here
dude.
I am.
That animation there was pretty bad, I have to say. The coughing animation was pretty bad. Well, yeah, but... Dude, don't be too hard on
What
yourself.
kind of a
You've gone into a
father am
TV, you can't do that.
I can't even protect my own daughter.
Dojima-san.
I wonder if that was a mistranslation there.
If anything happens to Nanako,
Because he says, what kind of a father am I? I can't protect my own daughter. I was wondering whether that... What kind of policeman am I? I can't even protect my own daughter. That would have made more sense,
save her for me.
I think. But, what can you do?
Once I
Yeah, we're the only ones. Ah, you trust me again, do you? Ah,
please.
fuck you, uncle. Of course, we'll do everything we can. We want to save Nanako. Make sure she
It may
doesn't
take
die.
some time, but you must put your faith in us
Spoilers.
and wait for us to return with her.
That's not really a spoiler. So, yeah. Our course of action is clear now. We have to go into the TV and stop Namatame and save Nanako. Pretty much. Actually, before I started this recording, this commentary recording, I was kind of thinking about
Pursuing Namatame.
whether this was the
Focus on saving
one where
Nanako-chan.
basically there's a
We're the only
dungeon
ones
that
who
you,
can.
if you go in on a certain day,
We'll save her no matter what.
if you have to beat it
I
on a
often
certain
thought it might
day.
be impossible, but we finally
If you
cleared
beat
the
it on a
hurdle.
certain day, then
We
you
made
get
it this
a
far. We won't let him take Nanako-chan's life.
if you're in a relationship with someone, you get
This
a
is it.
special
Let's go
scene.
all
It's like
out
a
and get it
Christmas
done.
date between you and your
I made a
the
promise
girl
with
you're in a
Nana-chan.
relationship.
I said that we'd play
Between you and the
again,
girl you're
and
in a
that everything
relationship
would
with.
be okay.
But I
her
don't
that.
think that this is this one.
Yeah,
I
so
believe
let's
it's
save her.
the next dungeon
We're doing
after
it for
this one.
Dojima-san, too.
This one is
Another
pretty much
watermelon.
you can. It's pretty much the same. It's the same with any dungeon really. That you have.
This is something only we can accomplish.
You don't have to do it straight away. You've got like.
Come on.
There's a certain
Do this,
date.
guys. No problem.
It's usually like a couple of weeks after the
Yeah, we
kidnapping.
do this the same way as always.
No, it's about 2 or 3 weeks, I would say, after the kidnapping. And if you haven't caught, saved the person by then that's when you fuck up. But this game I find so comfortable to beat that I don't need to. I'm trying to think of the word. It's not that you don't need to plan it, because you do. With any RPG, you need to plan this shit.
I'm sure we'll be alright if we work together.
But it's more that the dungeons are so comfortable that you don't have to worry too much about doing it in a single sitting if you want to do that. Like I'm doing it all through in one day.
Does this have something to do with all the fuss about the fog lately?
Something's weird in here.
So yeah, this is
All the
pretty
commotion
much
in town has been affecting this world too.
this is a plot point which is brought up briefly here and then is elaborated on in between saving Nanako and the next dungeon. This one is brought up
That way. Wow.
It's brought up very briefly here, and then it's elaborated on later on. But the fog will become an issue after this dungeon is completed. So yeah, we don't have to think about that for a little while yet, though. That's going to be... God, it's at least going to be 3 or 4 parts before we... 3 or maybe even 5 before we even get to that section. And this is Nanako's dungeon. This is called Heaven.
Is Nanako
Which is,
Chan's?
this is probably the most
beautiful.
depressing
It's like a story
of all the
vision of
dungeons.
heaven.
Like heaven, huh?
Basically,
Nanako-chan must really miss her.
they're all
I'm sure she does. She's only a child.
they're all sad, I guess, in their own little
We
way.
have to do everything
But
we
this one
can
is
to rescue her.
really fucking depressing.
Of course. We're gonna rescue Nana-chan
because
no
this is
matter
pretty
what.
much
We can find Namatame later and give him
because
what's
the
coming
dungeons
to
are
him.
pretty much their innermost thoughts
First,
and
we need to
feelings
rescue
and
Nanako-chan.
fears, I guess, as well. And yeah, Nanako created Heaven because she wanted to go see her mum again. Very sad, very, very sad. But yeah, let's move on, and I pick my usual party members: Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko. So let's head into the dungeon. This one is the music's really nice. It's very slow and relaxing, soothing. Yeah, I like this dungeon. I like the way it looks. It's really cool.
Enemies weak
So-
to darkness.
So that's the growth relic.
That one's totally weak. 4 enemies left. Don't give up.
The growth relic is weak to fire, and it's strong against electricity and physical. So yeah, that's the best thing to use on that. This is the mythical Gygus.
Just what I expected, Chie-senpai. There!
Weak to dark attacks, doesn't have any effect on light attacks. Light attacks don't have any effect on him, and it's strong to ice and wind. But at this point in the game, I just pretty much use physical on that dude, because it does normal damage, and that's usually enough to take him down, so it's no big deal. But anyway, yeah, that's the first 2 enemies of the dungeon. And I love these doors, actually. They look really I don't know what the word is. They're very old-fashioned, like kind of the sort of thing that you would see in some sort in like Game of Thrones or something. Some sort of really old school, big wooden doors with the metal lion face on it.
That enemy's
And
weak to fire.
the new enemy is the Perpetual Sand. It's right at the top. Perpetual Sand doesn't have any weaknesses. It's strong against physical and fire. Everything else does normal damage. So yeah, you. I think Yosuke now has the most powerful wind attack. So yeah, more often than not, if it doesn't have a strength against that attack, then he's going to blow through him in pretty much 1 or 2 hits. So nice and easy. Look at that, I found the exit already, but we're going to go through the whole dungeon, because that's the way I do this shit. I think I got bored only in 1 dungeon, and that was just because I was like, oh, I just want to get this done, to be honest. This is the Finicky Papillon. That is weak to ice, strong against light and dark attacks, and strong against fire. Does normal damage to everything else, and look at that. Yosuke becomes like a powerhouse when he gets up to his later levels. Just absolutely wrecks shit up. It's just really fucking good to use. And I think I get a Persona Rangada, the Magician. I've never been one to, in this game, try and work out what the most powerful personas are. I just like... As in, I don't try and grind personas to get certain ones. I just like... This one's a higher level, I'll use that. That's pretty much the way I do it. It's just, you know, not really my style. Frost Magnetama, I believe that does 100 points of ice damage. I never use those items. At least I didn't. I've probably used them occasionally, particularly if I have to do... because there's certain status inducements. Like, for example, you can be... well, not status, like status buffs for the enemies, like, so they're not affected by frost magic or frost attacks, but they can be affected by the frost item, the ice items or the fire items or whatever they happen to be weak to. So yeah, in that situation it makes it a lot quicker if you have a few. I always end up with 10 ton of those fucking things, so I don't really use them. Oh, she's going to tell me the weakness. Oh, thank you. That's the apostate tower. It's weak to wind. Yeah, it's weak to wind and it drains electricity. That's pretty much it. Need blocks. I don't know what... What is he? Yeah, but you know, might as well use it. Get rid of those assholes. What is this thing? Okay, this is the cursed dice. It's weak to dark attacks. So yeah, dark magic on that thing all day long. Nice and easy. So yeah, in terms of the way the dungeon looks, I actually really like it. It looks kind of cool. That does electrical damage, I believe. I think that's 100. Or it might be... I can't remember the exact specifics, but I know it does electrical damage. So yeah. I like the setup of these things as well. Like the corridors look... They make them look different, even though it's pretty much the same thing as before. These are the Dark Eagles. They're weak to fire, and they have a weak they don't get affected by wind. Please don't prove me wrong. Yes. That is the... What was that? The dull rapier? Yeah. Anyway, they usually. I don't know the weaknesses, but I usually just hit them with physical attacks and they go down really fucking easily. So just use physical attacks. Let's use a light attack, because I'm using Anubis. They're also weak to light, there you go. I think... Are we pretty much near the end? Yeah, I think we're pretty much near the end of the part at this point. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, join me next time for the next part of Persona 4 Golden, when we'll be continuing through through Nanako's dungeon, Heaven. Join me next time for the next part of Persona 4 Golden. See you next time.